Hey y'all, welcome to episode 1 of this super new podcast. Welcome to the Vision Room Social. I'm your host Jacob, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the basement dweller here with Tim Ross, Leadership Lean In for inspiring this. Also Nate behind the camera. So if you hear that name throughout the season, he's the man behind the camera making this happen. So I'm joined here with one of my closest friends. I actually wanted him to be the first episode just because these past couple of years since I've lived in Tulsa, he has been and seen the transition of my life and been there for a lot of tears, a lot of laughing. But man, I'm grateful that you're here. First guest.
Absolutely. I'm here.
Of the episode.
We're here.
The James Wayne.
Not the, but sure.
Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, man. So start it off. If you were to meet a stranger and explain what you do concisely, how would you give that answer?
If I was to meet a stranger, so I would say what I do concisely without like name dropping what I do. I would tell them that I live my life on purpose to create solution-based ideas to make sure everyone's seen and heard and have access and opportunity.
Oh, bro. For y'all that don't know, this man does everything. So that's the way that you would explain what you do? That's
what I would do. So and the main ways of doing that is through photography, and through an organization called Blackwood, where we make sure that people of color are seen and heard and feel safe. And so, yeah. Yeah,
man. Bro, because, I mean, from what I know, you went to school and you studied.
Yeah, so my undergrad was public relations and advertising, and my master's is communication.
So how'd that lead to... Blackwood, James Wayne photography, all these things.
I think how it led to that is because when it comes to make sure people feel seen and heard, they need to know a way to tell their story and how to communicate their story. And so through advertising and PR, I was able to learn how to learn how to make sure people feel seen and heard.
For sure.
And then photography, been able to tell their story. And so,
I've seen that. I've seen that in some of your work.
That's what I love doing.
So has that always been the goal? Because like maybe high school James, what were you thinking?
High school James is crazy. We don't have to get deep, but high school James would, I would say I've always known that I wanted to be in a sphere of influence when it comes to social change.
For
sure. Just because of my involvement in high school, my involvement in college. Did I know it was going to lead there? But no. But like I tell people all the time, like I'm not really big into putting labels or titles on things. I'm really big into living on purpose. And living with intentionality. And so I think through that's how I found what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, is because I intentionally wake up every day to do something. So therefore something will make sense.
For sure. Bro, and I think one of the greatest like things I've seen you do is that you create space for at least minorities to feel themselves and like be completely themselves. And for sure you speak that over myself, because I doubt myself in times that I'm like in environments that I feel by myself, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I just believe that, especially for people of color, I think it's huge because we created most of the spaces. And I feel like it's not time for us to I'm not going to say we're going to take them back, but I feel like it's time for us to feel safe in the spaces that we created, or the spaces that was created because of us. And so I'm big into make sure that I have access and opportunity to all the things that I feel like my ancestors and people that went before me helped create.
Bro.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, like, a big goal that I have for this podcast is to inspire other creatives to take the step out towards pursuing the life that they feel like God calling them to. And you recently like took the jump of full-time entrepreneurship, right? Because you had been working in ministry, then you worked 8 to 5.
Yep.
And then, bro, like this year, right? You took that jump.
June 29th.
Yeah. Talk me through that, man.
Yeah. So let me say, thank you. And then also let me say that I need everyone to know, I don't believe it's a right time for anything.
Yeah.
I do believe in wrong times, but I don't believe it's right time. So some people ask me, James, how did you know it was right? I didn't know it was right.
You just jumped?
I just jumped. Yeah. But I knew it wasn't wrong. And I think that's more so what we should lean into, is not the right time for things, but the wrong time. And I knew it wasn't the wrong time. I didn't know it was the right time. I didn't know it was going to be perfect. But what led to that is the idea of freedom.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to feel free. I wanted to kind of bet on myself. I feel like for a lot of times other people have bet on me to accomplish things.
Yeah.
And it was my time to do that for myself. And so the best way to do it was to quit my job. Nothing was wrong with the job. It was just time for me to understand my value.
Yeah.
And the only way I was going to do that is if I bet on myself and took a step back to actually see what I'm about. Am I really about what I say I'm about?
Yeah.
And luckily to this day so far, everything's going well.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
But it's not like we're all human. We don't have it all figured out. So
Right.
like sometimes we struggle with imposter syndrome and stuff like that.
Phew.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so imposter syndrome is one of the things I struggle with the most. So if anyone's listened to the podcast knows about Enneagram 3, it is the
hard
achiever.
3.
I'm a hard 3,
9.
which is pretty much, I focus on achievement. That is what I do. And so for me, imposter syndrome shows up in spaces that I know I've worked really hard to be in. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I'm headed to that space or as soon as I occupy that space, something in my mind tells me that I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And that's not true because I know I worked for it.
Yeah.
Right? But
you really have.
imposter syndrome tells me that I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not supposed to enjoy the things that I'm enjoying. I'm supposed to receive the fruit of the things I've worked hard for. And so imposter syndrome definitely shows up even more now because I do have to bet on myself. And so anytime I have self-doubt, accompanied with betting on myself, it usually requires me to like look at myself in the mirror. I'm not going to say exactly what I say because it's not probably the best for this podcast.
This is a family show.
But right, exactly. So I look at myself in the mirror and affirm myself.
Let's
and
get
sometimes I have to tell myself what I would tell some of my students of just like, you have to know your value.
Yeah.
You have to know how hard you worked. You didn't wake up to be second place.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're not first, you're last.
Right. And so, and I'm not saying like in a confident or cocky way.
Yeah.
I'm saying no one wakes up to be second. Mm-hmm. So why would I actively choose to be second place when I know I worked my butt off, to be second place. And so, imposter syndrome, that's how I usually combat it or fight it.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, wait, I have worked for this.
For sure.
Like when I get a big wedding or a big client, I've been 8 years in the game with photography.
Yeah.
So
and then you just now did it full time. So
right, just now, right, been doing it for 8 years, and just now jumped into it full time. Yeah. Right, and so when imposter syndrome shows up, I don't understand sometimes because I'm like, James, your track history shows you should be here. Mm-hmm. So why are you doubting yourself now? So,
yeah, man. And one thing I do want to like commend you on is that like I don't want anyone to think that you're just an achiever for the sake of achieving. James takes care of a lot of people. Like, bro, like I know you have the dance team, and that's like you do it for free, just out of the goodness of your heart. And
absolutely.
I don't know if you want to expand on that. I know.
Yeah, I mean, specifically the dance team or just helping people. Which one?
The dance team.
The dance team. Yeah. So. I don't do that style of dance. It's called the Ladies of Elegance. They're a majorette dance team, mimicked from the HBCU style of dance. But I mean, honestly, it was because like solution-based thinking. I had a couple of girls that wanted to dance that when I did ministry, and I was like, why not give them access to something they want to do? And so I learned how to create a dance team. And 6 years later,
I mean, you've had some girls make it to
college. Yeah, I have 2 girls in college right now dancing. One's at JSU, Jackson State University. She's at JSET, and then I have one at Langston University, which is a Golden Feline. Mm-hmm. And that shout out to them. One's she's been texting me all morning. She's getting ready to dance tomorrow, and she's really excited and nervous. And so,
okay, and staying in the lane of like creating opportunity for people. Yep. Blackwood.
Yeah, Blackwood.
Yeah,
man, Blackwood. I'm a co-founder of Blackwood. I have to make that clear. Chris Harvey is also the co-founder of Blackwood. My boy, my cousin, he's great. But yeah, Blackwood was started because we realized, especially in Tulsa, that first, let's say the name. Blackwood is because Greenwood and Black Wall Street mixed together, which makes Blackwood. Yeah. And it is a place, an opportunity for people to get access and opportunity, especially people of color and women, to feel safe, to feel safe spaces, to create businesses, ideas, and with like-minded people, like FUBU, for us, by us. Yeah. And so that's kind of the motto that we go by, is that we want to fill rooms with more people like us. So if we need money, if we need ideas, it stays within our community. The dollar stays within our community, and we actually can expand it.
Yeah.
And so what better way is to have people that look like you invest in what you believe?
That's true.
Because if your community believes, imagine all the other people that can believe as well.
Yeah.
And so Blackwood is beautiful right now. We do a lot of events and co-working.
This man was on the news.
Was on the news. It was funny. I got a call around 7 that morning.
Yeah. This was this year as well.
It was this year.
You've been on it this year.
This year. Got a call at 7 in the morning. They said, do you want to be on the morning news segment? I was like, sure. I thought, which is crazy, a lot of people don't know this. I thought it was going to be recorded.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be able to look at it again. Because, as a photographer or videographer,
you
look back at your work before you publish it. No. When we got off the set, they said, that was great. I looked at my phone, 15 text messages and a whole bunch of Facebook notifications. I was like, what could this be about? It was live. And so I probably would have changed some of my answers if I'd known that, but that kind of goes into the always being intentional, right? Because if I wasn't intentional with my words, I wouldn't have had a second chance at getting that, right? And so that was the craziest thing. Still crazy. I don't like my posture in it. I was like, so I learned a lot about myself during that time. I was just like,
bro, how can I find that, bro?
I don't know.
It's probably on the archives of like local Tulsa news.
It's somewhere to be found, but I feel like you have to know keywords and Google AdWords to know how to find it. And I'm not gonna tell anybody, especially on this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
bro. Blackwood's killing it. Like recently, they had an event, and it wasn't even like a business event. It was just a collaborative social.
Yeah,
event.
Culture Fest.
Yeah, that was dope. I was
yeah.
out there trying to learn line dances.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was literally the best. It's kind of how I explain it. It was a time finally for us just to come around each other and just laugh and dance and have no agenda. No one had to succeed. No one had to know the line dances. And it was just showing what true community could look like.
Yeah.
Like we came together, just like you said, you learned line dances or trying to learn line dances when you're there. I was
trying.
But no one made you feel like you should know it already.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No one was like, I can't believe you don't know this.
Yeah. Y'all had like a MC?
Yeah,
DJ,
MC,
like
Ramal. Shout out to Ramal. He is the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then Dr. View, which was our DJ, GOAT. They're both GOATed in my mind because...
You're goated, bro.
We are we're here. So.
We really are.
Yeah.
I think it's about the halfway point of the episode.
Okay.
Before we go on, I just want to make the point. So these little figurines was my idea. I just like how they look, and it's kind of like a play to the Vision Room.
Yeah, and let's since he wants to talk about it, you guys, for the people that's not watching the video and the people that's listening to the podcast, he set the McDonald's one beside me, and it's yellow. And I'm kind of yellow.
This man is vegan.
And I'm vegan. So it literally is like, wow. But I actually don't know if I want to be the
grimace.
What is it?
Grimace?
Sure. I don't know if I want to be that either. So I'm just going to stick with I provided the plant.
You did provide the plant. That is you. This is me. This is a perfect collaboration of our creativity. For those of you that are audio only, if you want to look up the cactus plant McDonald's toy, McDonald's sponsor this podcast if you want. But okay, halfway point.
Yeah.
Long-standing tradition. Even though this is the first episode, we're doing the Cash App Challenge. And for those of you listening, the Cash App Challenge is where I ask the person I'm interviewing either an inside joke between us, general knowledge trivia question.
Okay.
That I have the answer written down to.
What is ours?
Hold on, I'm still explaining the game. The game is so if James gets his answer right, I cash app him $5. If he gets it wrong, he cash apps me $5. For you, I went inside joke just because we're actually friends.
Okay.
And we've done a lot of life together. So for today's Cash App Challenge, James, what is the single worst movie we've seen together?
I actually can't think of the name.
Bro.
I can't think of the name of it, but I remember exactly what it was. Because they turned into vampires.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And they started biting people. Man, we literally thought it was going to be a great movie. The preview played us. Netflix, if you're listening to this, you should sponsor this episode just because we literally,
like,
I'm not going to say wasted, but
we gave up on the movie.
I think we fell asleep at one point. And then we woke back up and they were still.
You were still biting people? Okay, so the title of the movie is Night Teeth. We do not recommend it.
Do not.
-2 out of 10.
Man.
It looked like a crime mystery.
It looked great, but it was a crime. Technically, they didn't lie. And that's how PR works. They didn't lie. They exactly said crime and random deaths. We just didn't know they were going to eat people.
Tricked me. Bro, we didn't know until that one scene.
Which it was 45 in the movie.
Like 45 minutes into the movie.
And then next, the elevator doors or whatever opened, and they were biting people.
Yeah.
And eating people. Because you remember they were in the Uber driver, we thought it was cool. No.
Yeah, that's tough, dude.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Word to
Plus
the family that's watching, the family audience that's watching this, don't bite people.
Yeah, don't bite people. Don't watch Night
Kids
Teeth. I don't know
do
if it's on Netflix still. You could
probably got removed. Actually, it probably was just there because of Halloween.
Yeah.
So,
that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Double thumbs down.
Double.
Thumbs down.
Like you said, negative 2 out of 10 for sure.
I don't know that we've seen a good movie together, man.
I don't know either. Yeah, because we went to the movies as well.
Yeah. What movie was it?
I don't know. You talked me into going.
I did talk you into going. No. All right. L on both variants.
There we go.
All right, man. Transitioning away from the Cash App challenge, that's +5 for me. We'll see how much money I lose or gain at the end of the season.
+5. Even though I knew the movie.
You just didn't know the name.
But you did ask specifically the name of the movie.
Yeah, you should know.
So I'm probably give you 250.
250. I'll take that. All right, man. So now that you've had a chance to work for yourself, can you kind of speak into the burdens and blessings of what that?
Yeah, I think the obvious burden, and I say obvious because of me, not obvious to the world.
Yeah.
I think the obvious burden for me has been every decision I make with all my money decisions is permanent. It's not coming back in 2 weeks. Yeah. It's not coming back in a week. It's not coming back in a month.
That's true.
It can, because if I work hard, but I think that's the obvious burden is knowing that at any point someone can stop choosing you for what you think you're gifted at.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest blessing of it is that it gives me freedom to do whatever I want and travel and breathe slower and move in peace.
Yeah.
And so I think that outweighs the burden of not knowing, because the unknown actually is beautiful of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
The unknown has taught me to believe in myself. The unknown has taught me to go for what I want. The unknown has taught me to rest when I can. The unknown has allowed me to travel, and so the known parts of it is good as well.
Yeah.
Like knowing that someone wants you for what you consider yourself as your gift. Knowing that, I have not all the freedom in the world, but I can choose my freedom. If someone needs help, I can show up.
That's on you. Yeah.
And I love that. But yeah, the obvious burden for me, or the burdens for me, is more so just knowing that if I go get a $30 meal, that is $30 from my money that I worked hard
from
for.
my business.
And my salary is not going to give me that $30 back. And so
there's no company card. It's your card.
It's my card. I have a company business card, but it's my money that's going onto that card. So it's but it's great.
It's great.
I recommend entrepreneurship to everyone let me say this, just like veganism. I'm a vegan for anyone that's listening.
He's promoting.
4 years in, I love it. But just like veganism, I don't think veganism's for everyone. Just like I don't think entrepreneurship's for everyone. I don't think everyone's called to it. I think social media podcasts, and not this podcast, of course, this one's great, but social media podcasts, motivational videos will tell everyone, quit your job, go for this, blah, 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 get healthy, go vegan, blah, blah, blah. But if you do veganism wrong, you could die.
Yeah.
If you jump into entrepreneurship without any plan, you could literally go broke and be more miserable. And so I think you just have to know yourself and check in with yourself often to know if it's the right thing. Yeah. Like if I go to the hospital and the doctor's like, you have to eat meat to survive, you know what I'm going to do? Go eat meat to survive.
Yeah.
If I get to a point where I can't pay any of my bills, what am I going to do? Go get a job. I think it's practical steps we all need to take in our life. Yeah. Take accountability for what you know.
That's true. So what advice would you give to people listening?
To people that want to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Or create. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I have a follow-up question.
Okay, great. For people that want to become an entrepreneur, I would say schedule your time the correct way. Work the 9 to 5. That's totally normal. Work the 9 to 5, work hard, save up money. But the thing is, never stop learning. and I'm not saying you have to go to school, but YouTube has so many things. It's so many people that's waiting to mentor people out here as well. Yeah. And so I would say get all the advice you can, keep working on your craft, keep studying it, but don't quit your job just because you are anxious or you just don't like it. Mm-hmm. Take time, save the money. So have a nest egg. If you quit, you can live 3 months without being stressed.
That's true.
Take gigs that you normally wouldn't do so you can get, like I tell photographers and videographers all the time, if you only shoot outside, learn how to shoot inside. If you only shoot inside, learn how to shoot outside. If you only shoot, photograph white people, learn how to shoot black people. Mm-hmm. Learn skin tones, learn all these different things. So when it's your time to make that leap, you're comfortable.
That's good.
And so, my advice would definitely be go for what you want. Be intentional about every single thing. Like if you have breath in your body, you should be intentional. Yeah. Period. It's no
quote that. Yeah, put it on a t-shirt.
But legit, if you have breath in your body, you should be loved. You should love, but you should also be so intentional with yourself that it's not a question. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I love that, man. And on the other side of that coin, like I don't know that I'm made for entrepreneurship. I do know I'm made for creativity, though. Yeah. So it's also on a similar coin where I just had to jump, bro. Like the audio stuff, you saw me trying to figure it out. Like I have a music background, but it's not like I've done this before. Right. Episode 1, so we're figuring it out as we're going. It out. So, I mean, moral of the story: take the jump.
Take the jump.
I've had friends that shout out to Brendan if you're listening. He is a master with the software that we're using. You saw me FaceTime him, bro. I don't have questions, but I think I'm grateful that I've had people, even like yourself, that have surrounded me to speak life into me. Yeah, and it had to be on me. Like you weren't going to start the podcast for me. Yeah. But you did agree to be the first guest. Yeah. So stuff like that, finding the balance of what that looks like.
You said something that made me think. Another advice I would say for sure is surround yourself with the right people.
That's true.
And I'm not saying you're going to always know who the right people are, but surrounding yourself with the wrong people could be way more detrimental to your future. Yeah. Like I tell people, because of the community I surround myself, doors continually open. Yeah. But when I was around the wrong community, all the doors that I work hard to open, they stayed on the other side and kept them closed. Mm-hmm. And so make sure you always know who you're surrounded by. I truly believe in if it's 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th. But I also believe if you hang out with the 5 successful people, you're going to be the 6th. Yeah. We only talk about the negative. It's a beautiful side of it as well. That's real.
So, Nate, weren't we talking about that on the way over here? Like we were literally talking about you're the average of the people that you surround yourself with. It's not
so make sure the people you surround yourself at least have A's and B's, so your average will be at least a B. Yeah. You know? If you C's and D's, you can't expect an A.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It's crazy.
All right, bro. Before I let you go, any closing comments? Any closing?
Man, comments. Shout out to both of you guys.
Concerns.
Nate, Jacob.
Love you, dude.
Deal, you guys are. But, I mean, no. Honestly, everybody that's listening.
Just next time, don't put the McDonald's store next
don't. That was actually, just why.
They got the double eyes. They got the vision.
Yeah, but mine clearly doesn't have the full vision because
you don't got the pupils.
the hat is covering half the eye. But no, honestly, you guys be intentional. Love really hard. If someone has breath in their body, they're worth being loved.
I got things that I'm giving in advance. Don't gotta wait.
We'll see y'all next week.
Yes,
let's get it.
Don't see it now, but I learned to trust. You could do a lot with a little song. So I'ma let you hold everything I got.